How's everybody doing tonight? It's Big Chonis in the house. What's going on? Watching the close. Watching the close, daily close come in here. Looking pretty bullish across the board. How bullish are we? Nice little volume push at the very end here. All right, it's Big Chonis. What's up, what's up, what's up? How's everybody doing tonight? Just checking in at Bitcoin here, seeing how we're kind of end up the day. I wanted to come to you guys live and see what we can see here. We're looking at some pretty, sustained action, we'll call it, through the day. A little push here at the very end. And we're just trying to see how strong we are here as we start a brand new day, which we're just about 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 seconds away from. And we're going to see if this was just a big old little trap at the very end of the day, or or if we actually have some sustained bullish momentum going into tomorrow for yet another day of bullish price action. At least continues to hold the price in this area sub 4,000 on Bitcoin. Now we're looking to see, which coin is really leading the way here. and we have some front runners that are very much more stronger. Litecoin over $50. Congratulations, Litecoin hodlers. From the low 20s, low 30s, and even low 40s. It's proven to be a longer term interesting hold here, to be above 50 and holding. EOS breaking through here from the $2 range all the way up to $4. I mean, it's a 100% move since January. Ethereum Classic, I know it is what it is, but it's showing also very nice bullish momentum. Basically, we're running with the bulls here from in the fours, and we see Ethereum. Also remember we have the fork in like 5 days. This fork is coming. And when this fork comes, we'll see what happens before and after. Remember, these are news events. Are we buying the rumor and selling the news? These are all possibilities that, as traders, as investors, as cryptographers, as we are, we need to kind of keep in the back of our head here, because like what is really driving price action, what is really driving the market, and how much faith can we have in this continued moves here as we're testing key areas of resistance right now. Ideally with Bitcoin, at least let's get ourselves above $4,000, right? I mean, you can't argue with that. Ethereum was stopped out back at the 160 level many weeks ago. It seemed like a very long time ago, and we've crawled ourselves all the way back. Not to it just yet. We're still putting in a lower high, but we're getting groovy. So are we just putting in the next lower high resistance before another triangular retrace? Or is this the moment where we really break through here? And is this just, are we really busting out of a higher high here, or are we just putting in the final touches of a, potential completed C wave, if you will? It's been out there as well. We're very close here on several circumstances, and just starting a brand new day in the price action of Bitcoin. Let's talk about what happened yesterday. Let's bring up kind of individual charts here. You guys, who I am. I'm Big Chonis. I'm on Twitter sometimes. I'm on Bitcoin Live, featured contributor. I also do online mentoring. You guys can find me as well as chonistrading.com, bigchonis.com, and still working on the website, but happy to see Anthony Hardy, Jizzy Mac, Lucas Yee, the Little Lou, Gary Dotson, Antonio Gaetan, Tony Bowles, Brian Donnelly, Alan Bayer, what's up? Claiborne Taylor, hello. EB, thanks guys. 70 of my closest friends tonight wherever I am. Might be morning wherever you are, or afternoon or evening. Cold and snowing here right now. We just closed our daily candle of price action of Bitcoin. Had a very nice end of day push here in the price and in the volume. And we saw that kind of flowing around there with a bunch of our coins as well. And we're kind of see how strong this move is here. I think there's been so much bullishness in what we're seeing in the price action of Bitcoin. Being able to maintain these levels here, get so close to this, $4,000 potential breakout of the move here. But even so, can individual altcoins continue to push this market higher? As I said earlier, Litecoin above MW Wint 1982, Gigantic 2001, AT. What's up, guys? The Shitcoin Kid, Pat Can. Thanks for joining me. So listen, we just closed our day out here. We had a nice end to our daily price action, and we're wobbling here on the cusp of what? Do we have one more push? Do we have multiple more pushes of bullishness in Bitcoin price action ahead of us here? I have 6 charts up here. I'm watching these all day. I'm watching these guys all day, and I'm looking to see what's leading the way. And earlier in the day, it was notable to see Litecoin bust out first and break through $50. And I was like, okay, we've seen this pattern before. Litecoin moves first, and then Bitcoin follows. What's up, Steve? Ethereum follows. Bitcoin Cash. Other ones follow. And then this most recent move here, we saw Ethereum actually begin to take the charge and take the lead there in this next little push higher here. Still finding that sub 150 area for Bitcoin Cash-ish. Got right up to it, right? I think we got up to 149.97 there, still sub 50 in Ethereum there, and Bitcoin continues to hover, sub 4,000. Litecoin again above 50, very impressive here. I mean, I honestly didn't think it had it in it. I really didn't. I think the fact that it bought in the 20s for now and the very fast. Had a correction move here back up to 50. It's very impressive. And just to think about how this near-term resistance area of Litecoin has been achieved. We always talked about, wow, it would be really impressive to get back to the area before the collapse of Litecoin, which was right around $50. We had a drop to 48, a spike to 56, and then down we went. So to be back here at the $51 area very quickly, relatively speaking here. I mean, it didn't take us more than about a week and a half to get most of this run back. So very impressive, very bullish. But listen, a lot of that runway has been taken up here. Same with the EOS. Again, this is what happens with crypto. We have these long stretches of sideways duration, consolidation, chop, stop loss wicks, all those things that we see when we have a kind of a low volume, especially a low retail volume environment. But sideways price action means stability, and stability, especially in Bitcoin, has led for these altcoin charts to play out the way they have, where they've had the chance to basically have a bottoming bounce, have a elongated consolidation period, and then have a reciprocating bounce. Now, not every coin has gone higher high, and the biggest thing about all this is that Bitcoin is one of those. Bitcoin is one of those coins. Bitcoin is the coin that we want to have that higher high. And what I mean by higher high is we got to get above 4,000 people. We got to get above 4,000. So let's get really into Bitcoin here. Let's bring the one screen up, and let's just talk about a couple facts. Okay, talk about some facts here, not fake news, but just some genuine facts and what the chart is telling us. Look at these green candles here. So we have consecutively 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. This is starting that over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive green days in a row. Okay, green days. Okay, this is the time of our lives right here. When was the last time we had 6 consecutive green days in a row? Well, we had 5 back in early December. Okay, we thought we were bullish there. We got 6 in a row here. Got 3 there. When was the last time we had 6 days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There it is. Well, it was in July, where we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive green days in a row, followed by a consolidation period and then an expansion period. So a red day, another consolidation day today, after 6 days in a row, would not be the worst thing. The market itself is kind of on the edge here. Like, wow, we've already made some amazing gains. Okay, bullishly speaking here, if you've been long on a bunch of these names here, but you have to ask yourself, do we have another leg higher? Are we on the precipice? I try not to use the word verge, but I use the word precipice. And are we on the precipice of beginning to go that next level and to actually put in that higher low and that higher high? So what is a higher high? Well, a higher high is a break of 4119. A higher high is a break of 4242. A higher high is a break of 4420. Because these areas in the 4,000s have been very elusive since our break of it. Like over a month ago on this nasty ass candle here. So we've had our move here, and God, this move here, this clean, almost aeronautic structure, if you will, kind of aerodynamic. That's what I mean. Structure of this consolidation, tight expansion. But what are we building here? What pattern are we building? And there's several patterns. Either the ones we've broken out of, or the ones we're beginning to create. So let's see what I currently have here. Okay, I have a fib. So um, this is just, there's so much to work with here today. So let's just start with this guy here. It's fine. Let's say hypothetically that our current double topping, okay, we do have a current little tweezer here on the daily. Okay, we do have to acknowledge that. 1, 2. Okay, we're off by a couple bucks. High 3969, 3967. We're off by $2 here on our topping current resistance. And we have today's candle. Now, let's say hypothetically, we have not been able to find, or we will not be able to currently find a higher high. So a retracement from the most recent swing low to the most recent swing high, if we want to use this as a singular structure here, which I do, is the 3822 area is our first line of defense, our 326 fib level of support, followed by the 37s and our golden pocket area here. Now, if we get back to the 36s, and that almost is like one of those things here, well, wow, we spent so long, what the heck did I just do there? We spent so long in the 36s, and then to get back into that area there would kind of negate the bullish breadth we have currently on the market. So we're not kind of really dwell on that now. The near term is are we going to have a conservative, are we going to have a conservative support area to come back to and find a bullish support on? Or are we going to really range higher here and use the continuation of this to break through this current resistance and blast higher? A couple other things I want to focus on are extensions. We have a current extension here of, well, there's a couple to really work with here. I want to start with the overall, which is basically our bottom current to our high current to our triple bottom retest support here at 3338, and have the 5-5 extension of that has been resistance consecutively here. You guys still hearing me in the chat room there? I'm not seeing any back and forth. Remember, guys, tips are always appreciated. If you guys have any alt requests, I just want to make sure you guys are hearing me here as I ramble on here on Bitcoin price action. All right, is anybody there? Somebody say hello in the chat room there, so I can make sure I'm not talking to myself. So 0.55 resistance here continues, and that is notable because that's 2 days in a row. There we go. What's up, guys? All right, appreciate it. All right. Now, where does our golden pocket area represent our near-term resistance, which also corresponds with our most recent resistance area here that we want to keep an eye on for to get that that chance to break, which was consistent for now, is this lower high. And I'll delve into that a little bit more here about our descending trend lines. Everything above 4K can open up so many more bullish scenarios for either continuation in our altcoins or just flat out, how do I say this? What's the catalyst that can bring us higher, or what's the catalyst that's going to say to the market, you know what, no one's prepared to buy past X level, and therefore we're going to go back down and maybe go back down hard. We've built enough supports along the way here that the sense that we're just kind of crash and crater quickly after having so much time spent in this area is trying too hard. That is trying to basically have a sense there that we can continue this move here. Our volume in the past couple days has been notable on many levels, not just with the coin market cap and the overall volume in Bitcoin coming in, but just finally we're seeing a deviation in the declining breadth volume of the market, and that's notable to think if we're really changing some sort of direction. So we have a 0.55 consistent resistance here from our overall swing low to swing high of our initial impulse wave higher. Then we have a near term, let's just do this here, okay? 1, 2, 3, 6 consistent resistance again. I like that. I like confluence there. Get that really there, right there. Okay, so we did a full 1-to-1 and then some. Okay, we did a full 1-to-1. We're actually right sub 236 here at 3994, and that was that last double test there. It's like, okay, if we didn't do the first time, the second time, how many more times, how many more green candles consecutively does the market have to break us through the 1, 2, 3, 6 and get us at least to our golden zone here? Now, I mean, if we blast through here now, I mean, are we really talking just blast? Because if we can get above 4K, the next couple $100 should be rather easy, I think. Just because, okay, we're there, and we have so many wicks that bring us right up to the 42.50, and even here maybe as high as 43 on just a very very bullish kind of push higher here. But in this breath here, in this consistent move, without some sort of a meaningful consolidation, it's hard to see. But the volume is definitely talking here. The back-to-back days of volume candles this way was very impressive. Even though we have to note that a lot of 2 days ago volume on the 19th was some profit taking right when we got, still sub 4K. Yesterday's candle, it's hard to argue with. We did put it in a lower volume profile, and we were able to put in a higher closing high. So it's hard to argue with the breadth still being there. Okay, but the volume profile today will definitely speak volumes, because if we don't get that bullish move higher with buy volume today, then the consolidation definitely feels more likely. And that's why, in the beginning here, it wasn't the expanse chart we're trying to achieve. It was really more of the near term consolidation expectations we have here before some sort of continuation. Altcoins as well, we're hitting resistance levels. We're hitting areas where we'd love to achieve, that, falls with Litecoin. We have a little bit of chances to go a little higher on other ones here, ETH and whatnot, but, how much farther along can we really go here? So let's just stick with the daily for now. Let's just blast through a bunch of indicators here. This was the scenario I was talking about in the last show about how this massive head and shoulders chance could be playing out. And I drew this before this little crook here in our very bullish above 70 RSI on the daily. Like congratulations there. That's pretty impressive. But we have expanses here where we have the sharp peak. Okay, what do you call those? Stiff peaks. If you're making whipped cream, all my chefs out there. So we have a sharp peak here, sharp peak, sharp peak, sharp peak, sharp peak. The RSI, when it tops off on the daily, tends to put in a sharp rejection peak. And for now, we currently have something like that beginning to form. Still early, and still hard to see if this is really our top of our breadth, our RSI strength here. But for now, this has to be a scenario to keep in play in a more larger scale here. And we have examples of something similar happening as well, RSI. MACD, I mean, this thing has been just trending and holding. We now have both of our indicators above our zero line. Um, we have a continuation of our histogram. I have to expand this. We are on day 13 of a bullish histogram. But remember, we were more or less flatlined for a good 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like six to even. You can go a little more there. So the expansion is nice and notable at the only 13, where we have examples where we can go 30. But the fact that this 30 was after a very elongated bearishness with a continuation of the bullishness. And then this was more of a zeroing, almost neutral pattern, followed by a bullish pattern here. So just because we went 30 here after almost this slingshot down, slingshot up, 13 days here after a sideways pattern. Well, actually, I would almost use the bearish one as potentially a primer to that. 17 bars, 13 bars. So I honestly, I don't expect this to go as long, just because we went sideways, and neutral in a sense is kind of still bullish, especially these bars here. So even though we're 13 plus, it could be more like 19 plus if we were just a little stronger in these areas here. So again, running towards the potential, ending areas, last legs, maybe a little more running room, but we're getting later in the game. Let's put it that way. It's my Stoke. Yeah, listen, we talked about the double tap. There it is. We talked about the double tap of the Stoke. Now we have a double tap of our Stoke, but we have our Bitcoin price action more or less kind of still there. And that's interesting. We kind of have that resistance level still there. And that's something that we have to keep an eye on, because a double tap of our stochastic on the daily after having a bullish expanse, it's like we're running out of running room, in this sensibility here. And to take a longer position on this momentum here at this point is one of those things that we have to really keep in mind here as we continue to see where we're going here in the next leg higher. Because right now I'm looking for almost a consolidation of our topped off stochastic, which seems to be the case here. On the daily chart once again. Now the RSI, combined with the stochastic being where it is, combined with the MACD expanding, but looking for kind of that next breath, and then our OBV oscillator with this gorgeous move higher. But we also see that a similar pattern where the initial peak was the peak. The initial peak was the peak. And then it kind of consolidated down after that. So is this the initial peak, or are we just building on this Mount Everest here? Or are we build this? Are we topped off in our mound here? A couple things. TDIGI, TDIGM, TDIGM. I'll get it right one of these days. To have our green indicator way above our BB here, like this. The red isn't overexposed, being inside. The red never likes to get outside the Bollinger, no matter how tight it is. Very rare to see the red outside the Bollinger. It's inside. The green is pumping Kool-Aid in the veins here, very strong. But I'd like to consolidate. I'd like to bring the green guy closer to this BB here, which are still relatively tight, and have not expanded enough to keep this green guy in here. So this still shows room for expansion, but we're really bullish still on our green leading indicator here, and it's a short-term indicator as well. CMF chugging here above zero for a while. What are we doing here? Slightly I mean, something like that, maybe. Seeing that a little bit. A little more tightening here, and then potentially another drop down to our zero, maybe lower. Maybe unless it does that, but I don't know. I'm feeling the latter just because of how long we've been up in the zero, above our zero line. Up, down, up, down. These are similar time horizons before we get a real test back down. So we either have just bullish breadth consistently here, or we have the just the time horizon for, wow, look at the OBV on the daily. That's very interesting. So check this out. I've had this resistance line here drawn. I did this my last show, and we broke that sucker, didn't we? Wow, that's a higher. Wow, that's notable. That is notable. We have a higher OBV here. Well, we have a higher OBV than our. I guess I should say it's notable in the sense that we have a higher OBV in terms of our, arc resistance descending line here, but it doesn't really change the trend. A back test would be nice as well, especially breaking this line of resistance, confirming it as support. The back test would be important. So we're definitely, again, this is all about an area where it's fine to correct a little bit and consolidate, because if we go another push higher, if we break 4K with conviction, I almost feel the market will be less comfortable with the sense of a continuation, if you will. It's because of not having corrected. This is our longs and shorts here. This is our spread. Still very spread. Longs are still holding a higher advantage. Whoa. Still are having a higher advantage here. And shorts definitely rising a little bit higher, but both really deleveraged over the past day there. So, all right, so this is Bitcoin. I'll look a couple of things here, and then we'll blast through. Let's do that. Then we'll blast through a couple other charts here as well. The 2-day closes. Oh, this is a new 2-day. Nope, we're still in the 2-day. 3-day. I mean, geesh, look at that 3-day candle there. I mean, is that not a gorgeous 3-day candle? But we have another gorgeous 3-day candle here, followed by some pretty nasty red follow-up candles as well. So that's a very gorgeous 3-day with the volume. And listen, if you see a candle like this, I mean, other than this one here, right, which had that back-to-back 6 days and then the correction. Just like you would see a corrective candle with these two, you would want to see a pullback for potentially multiple 3-day candles before that next leg of expansion possibility. And our weekly chart, we're Wednesday, we're roughly halfway through. Okay, hard to argue with how nice currently our weekly candle looks here. There's 2 rules of thumb here we really have to look at. We are at the weekly chart. Oh, good, I'm completely clean. We're at the weekly chart. Okay, we have more or less this pattern. Okay, we definitely are on the fringe of a break of this triangle, but this is a triangle, and frankly, this is still can be argued to be a bear pennant. I mean, this is still pretty much a bear pennant until proven otherwise. Let's just keep it real here. This is pretty much a bearish pattern with lower highs. Now, I'm drawing this as if we're sub 4K, which we currently are. Now, if we were able to break 4K, we could do a couple things. We could expand this wider to give deference to a higher touch of 41, maybe even 42, right? And then this wouldn't really more triangular down. It'd almost be more triangular up, where we could see some sort of a support area, which was once a resistance area. But until that happens, we're still putting in a bearish freaking, a bearish pennant, honestly, until proven otherwise. Now, with this last move of Bitcoin, which the pennant allowed to happen, right? Because we still have a topping resistance to hit, which we're still on it. And listen, I was, this was yesterday. This was 24 hours ago. Keeping things in perspective, Bitcoin still needs to break vertical resistance here at 4K, and then break horizontal resistance at 41.14, and after that, bounce resistance top to 42.40, and then we can talk about a real trend change. Otherwise, lower highs are still in play, and we're literally, people, 24 hours later, we're literally exactly where we were then, where we have this resistance continuing here on Bitcoin's chart, and that is notable. What's up, Alan? What's up, Aximus Crypto, Hawk Johansson, Antonio Gaetan, Gary Dodson, Hans, Leo AV, John W, Maliki, Urazim. Yeah, when is Baby Bull Jesus? Some say it's happened. I don't believe it has. Xantham Crypto, what indicators do I use? I use many of them. Valabov Sony, what's up, my friend? Where do you live there? Where in the world are you, Valabov? I think it's so cool. I think it's so cool that I get to talk about Bitcoin. People all over the world, and everybody's like, I know a lot of my a lot of guys in the USA, a lot of guys in America, some in England, some in Europe, some in the UK, some in Russia, some in Australia. You know, but yeah, I mean, these are the things where we get to talk about what's going on here now. I have the weekly chart up here, and let's just keep things in perspective once again. Oh, Lana, all right, hot Lana. Very good, very good. So listen, look at these red boxes here. Look at these red boxes. You're from Turkey, the Titulu. That's awesome. Dublin. All right. Never been to Dublin. I would love to go to Ireland someday. I would love it. Apache kids from California, or from Central Arkansas. Brazil. All right. All right. That's amazing. South America. So listen. We've been in this area. We've been in. I should make this a different color. We've been in this red box. Now we've been in this yellow box. We've been in this yellow box, okay, of price action. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, yellow box, yellow box. Red box. Let's make this the brighter red. Okay, red box, red box. So we're doing pretty good here. We're holding this area of support. We're holding this historic price action of Bitcoin, and we're reciprocating a slight bullishness, yet let's call it just overall stability. Lucas Yee is from South Korea. That's awesome. Thanks, Lucas. Thanks for sharing. Leo is Brazilian in Scotland. Brexit lover, really? I could talk about that. Yeah, I could definitely talk about some Brexit. Michael Knight, forget 1800. Really? You think you're not going that low? I don't know. Odds from Norway. Wow, I'd love to go to Norway. I'd love to go to Norway. Oh my God. So listen, yellow, yellow, red, red. I mean, is yellow it? Basically, are we arguing that yellow's our bottom here? Are we kind of, drift up, drift up, drift up? Because red is just never going to be tested as price action. And what is red? Like, what are we talking about here? Talking about life under 3K Bitcoin, big as can be. Okay, this area represents life under 3K Bitcoin. Okay, with a 2 handle of your Bitcoin price action. Okay, and my honest opinion is we will get down to this red box at some point because we haven't. It's great to find this support here, and I don't want to, be a killjoy for what we've experienced over the past couple days here, where a lot of great gains being bullish have been really paid off. But at the same time, we can't just ignore the history of the chart and how limited amount of time we were in this 3K to 4K range, and how limited amount of time we were in this 2K to 3K range, and frankly, how limited amount of time we were in this even lower range here. Now, I'm not saying we can get down here, but the red box versus the yellow box, there's very little differentiation, honestly, between the price action and time horizon that both Bitcoin spent in this area and in this zone. And so because of this, I'm not saying we're going there tomorrow. I'm not saying we're going to lose our support of the box, whatever. But life under 3K Bitcoin is definitely a possibility. And overall, I think we have to consider these in the greater context of what we're doing here. Now, that doesn't negate bullish opportunities across the board, or even bearish ones if you're short in the market. We talk about, the market's going down. Well, people make money on down markets, don't they? Absolutely. So always keep thinking about, even if market's going down, even if Bitcoin is dropping, that bullish perspective, that bullish possibilities are still in the air. Guys, I want to keep talking, but I have to take a small break. I'll be back in under a minute. I'll be right back. All right, you guys miss me? Thank you for staying with me here. I had to just use a little refresh in my cocktail. Let's call it that. And we're back. All right, 170 guys, still 107, still hanging with me today. Remember to give me thumbs up if you enjoy this content. For guys to follow me on Twitter, and definitely look for my YouTube videos and Chonis Trading. .com, where I talk about my mentoring, and please feel free to reach out to me on my mentoring as well. We have, let's go back to Bitcoin. Let's check out what's going on. Then we'll go through some altcoins here. Okay, so listen, we're still into our day here, and let's talk about a couple potential chart patterns we have on our consolidation of our Bitcoin price action. Now, I'm not. I mean, there's a couple things here. Let's just play these out. Let's play devil's advocate here, okay? So there's one. Do we have a chance here for some sort of a head shoulders? We definitely have. Yeah, we got a higher head. We got a little right shoulder going here. Getting a little long in the shoulder ish here. Okay, so that's one scenario. That's one possibility that we're just a little toppy here. Okay, so we'll keep that in mind. And then other than that, we got a couple more angles to contend with here. We have a clear support line here that was touched numerous times. And does that happen to back test any other notable areas here? Something like that. Yeah, look at that right there. Break, support, breakthrough, and now support. So this line of support is holding. And, are we still doing some sort of an upward rising channel? Or are we doing some sort of an ascending triangle? I've seen that been talked about. And listen, like so far, that's a valid possibility. We keep trying to bash the top, and then finally we're able to break out. Continued hits on our top resistance line here, and then we have our breakout. Our volume has been great. I mean, we can't argue with the bullish volume and this stair step here. But let's look at a couple other indicators. I want to go back to my daily chart. Let's zero us out. Let's hide all of our artwork. Get it nice and clean. We know what our volume looks like. I'm going to hide my volume. Just keying the chart up. All right. I'm going to start with my EMAs first. EMA 12, EMA 26. These are the two I like to use on my lower time frame, or my lower EMAs. So we had a long time to get to our initial bull cross here. Let's do this. Okay, let's do this. Let's do that. Okay, so we took a long time to get to our initial bull cross. Finally did it right here. It was very short-lived. This is our second one. This one here has running room. Okay, so we like that. That's bullish. Okay, but that also means that areas of resistance become support. So what is support now? So we saw our EMA 12 as resistance, broke through. Then we saw our 26 as support and our 12 as support. There was our cross. So EMA 12 is our first line of defense support on the daily, currently rising and currently at 37.33 and rising. So that's support line A, followed by support line B. And let's do this. Let's make this A just really skinny. Really skinny. Actually, we'll make there dotted. So he's dotted, and he's a little skinnier, and also dotted. So we have A and B, and A is our daily EMA support, one that I'll be watching for on any kind of notable pullback, 37.33 and climbing. Will be something to watch for, because that's an area of resistance, if you argue, turn support, and now trying to oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Interesting. And then trying to confirm that can be support there as we're coming down potentially. And this is our first area that I would like to see hold on this higher of time frames because of how notable the resistance was that did turn support. On lower time frames, we can see how our expanse is. We haven't yet to touch it on 12, yet to touch it on the 6, yet to touch it on the 4. And we're kind of right on both of them here on our hourly. So I would start with my 6 hour for my nearest term, 3863, 3864 area, that initial touch. Okay, but as of now, if we're losing our Momo, then these will be the EMAs I'll be keeping an eye on, starting with the 6 hour initially, and then really the daily for a much more conservative support level. Over potentially a several day span, I guess unless we get some sort of a kapootie, which I'm not expecting, but you never know with Bitcoin. So let's get rid of my EMAs for a moment here. I want to bring up my triple MA. I'm still on my daily here. Now remember, it was pretty impressive for Bitcoin to break through the MA 100 and to currently hold above it for day 3, as we start the third day above it here. It is currently today's action support 3794. MA50 support still in the 3600s, as it was support turned resistance back to support. And these guys are getting close. And here's what's interesting. Here's what's so interesting. Bullish continuation, like real bullish continuation, getting us above 4,400 and maybe even holding, could really push. It could really almost create a bullish cross here, in a very ideal situation. Price action goes up to 44s and holds, and you could see the 50 begin to curve into the 100 versus the other way around. The thought is if the 100 falls below into the 50, that's a bearish cross with a bearish continuation of resistance. But since the price action is above both of them right now, the alternative scenario is definitely in play, with not a bearish cross, but a bullish cross. But for that to happen, we have to have the continuation of our bullish price action with volume that needs to keep coming along as well. So far, not there just yet. Also note on our higher time frames, or weekly, of course, just to keep things in perspective, MA200 was touched twice and held. It broke and bounced and touched, not even touched, almost got close to it. So yeah, it's good. But all this was happening on declining volume. All this is happening, especially this last bounce here. We talk about how clean and how nice the price action is, and it is. But we're still putting in lower volume. This is the weekly chart. We're halfway through our week here. Okay, we're looking good. We're probably going to put in a higher volume candle than last week, maybe even the prior week. Could be a trend changer. But we really got to step on the gas here on the next couple days of price action to really show this, wow, we're really changing this trend. Because still, lower highs have yet to be proven otherwise. Now, our Bollinger Band on our daily, okay, after 3 consecutive days of being above our upper Bollinger Band. I mean, come on, let's get back inside this thing. We didn't expand as much as I wanted to go, but we definitely got wider here, and definitely it does allow for a little consolidation before the chance still on the table of a continued expansionary area here. Middle Bollinger at 3,600 and rising, and our lower BB is beginning just to curve around with this bullish move here and adapting to it. But still, we're still more or less sideways. We're still more or less sideways, and that's just because of our price action has yet to break out and break above. Okay, so we talked a lot of Bitcoin. I want to just briefly touch on the longs and shorts, and then we go right to altcoins. Bitcoin longs. So Bitcoin longs were overextended, and then they kind of just got oversold, and they're just selling here at the bottom of the daily BB. That's fine. Bitcoin shorts, I mean, neither one of these is notable in any capacity. Both potentially, you could argue, have running room. That's not something very quickly. There's nothing really to get excited about. Honestly, the fact that the longs have deleveraged a bit is the one bearish thing about this. Is that, wow, you would think if we're about to break 4,000, why have longs deleveraged so much? A lot of money was taken off the table at 3,900s. You understand what I'm saying here? A lot of money taken off the table. If we're supposed to break through 4K, well, why aren't the longs higher? Just what I'm saying. All right, Ethereum. Daily, back in the middle ball, back inside the Bollinger. Okay, it's good. What a ramp up. Remember, let's keep things real here. This was our bigger move after a bigger drop. This is a smaller, bigger move after a bigger move. So these are still in conjunction with when this one topped out. This is a smaller version of this until proven otherwise. I mean, it really is. It really is. And this is coinciding still with Bitcoin's sub 4K area of support. Wow, 140. Wow, look at that. Let's do this. Let's do this. What do I have up here? Oh right, I got that. Okay, so Ethereum overall descending line resistance. I mean, are you kidding me? How do you long into this right now? It'd be great if it broke. Be notable if it broke. But how do you long into this right now? And even on a break, a back test would be nice, but seriously, how do you get into this now after 1, 2, 3, 4? We're on day 4. Granted, day 4 is only an hour into it, this little guy here. But this resistance stopped here, it stopped here. And this is kind of the ball game, isn't it? We break this, and sure, we'll talk about 160, 180, 200. Remember, the fork is 5 days away, or fork 2, right? T2 judgment fork. We break this, and yeah, let's rock and roll back to $200 for sure. But I mean, this line has been concrete, wrapped in duct tape until proven otherwise. Everything else is kind of mute. This is kind of the line here. Yeah, that's right, Michael. There's lots of them on log scale. Yeah, I mean, there's running room with log. If you go up to here, even here gives you running room to 170s. My biggest thing right now with just crypto and what's happened the past couple days is the way that the mood and the sentiment is just like ready for 4K, and it's just not. It's just like we're just not there yet. It just feels like we're just a little too soon. I don't know. It just feels like it's not easy, and it feels like the break of 4K for Bitcoin now, and the alts pushing that next level. It just feels too easy at this point. after the past, week we just had here. This is Bitcoin Cash. Been watching this one for a while. Um, this one kind of has a mind of its own and a chart of its own. It was one of the bigger winners, up almost 200%. I mean, bigger than Ethereum. And then it had another mover and actually ran later, but within conjunction with Ethereum, you know? And now we have, they both kind of ran the same way. They're both kind of only $2 separating each other in terms of the price action. Um, and they both would probably run together in a way if they kept moving, because both of them kind of have near-term 160 resistance. They really do. Now, a lot of these charts have, the OBV especially, really decent OBV spikes on all of this, with the RSI spiking and everything. So now just on the dailies, what we're just starting to see finally is just consolidation within the upper Bollinger, after being several days outside of it. And we've just had to really kind of acknowledge that because of just the bullish breadth of the market not wanting to go that next level higher if it's there, without the pullback. And I think maybe Litecoin's moved today above 50. It had been a precursor, here, and then it was a precursor here, and then again here. It moved before everything else did. And this morning at freaking 5 a.m., I just happened to wake up and walk with my phone, and there it was, Litecoin popping over $50, and I'm like, oh wow, here we go again. And I took a couple long positions because I was expecting everything else to kind of follow suit, and everything else kind of did a little bit, but it just couldn't push higher. It couldn't make that higher high. ETH was still being rejected sub 150, and I was just shocked to see Litecoin above 50 and still holding right now, right? And listen, we're just like, nothing's really changed in the past like day or so after the pop we had. Litecoin still above 3,900. Okay, just $100 shy of 4,000, and we got okay. We're doing okay. We have meaning. We have circumstance. We have the overall chance to keep it going, and to keep the party continued. But we have to also acknowledge that at this point here, a lot of the market might feel that let's just wait for a better entry. And we're not seeing that next pop just yet. And if Bitcoin does pull back meaningfully, then you could clearly see the altcoins really come back. Because remember, if the altcoins ran quicker, harder, faster, stronger, then their pullback can be just as brutal as well. Bitcoin down to 3,750, a couple $100 down, would pull the altcoins from a percentage standpoint probably more so down. Leo AV says BCH is not crypto, it's fake and easy to manipulate. The only people pumping it are fake Satoshi, and they scam people. I can't disagree with what you said there, Leo. I don't disagree with that. But every chart is a tradable chart, and I agree. A lot of these projects, a lot of these coins, a lot of these whatever pumps, if you will, a lot of the reasons why these are moving, are in themselves, um, scams or what have you, or fake, or nothing behind the project, emperor with no clothes, empty suits. Okay. But if the chart has money flow and the chart and the setup is tradable, then that in itself is what we're talking about here. So there's a lot of what these altcoins. I mean, some argue every altcoin is a total BS scam. Other than Bitcoin, all of the Bitcoin maximalists, feel that way. Even Ethereum, they talk about it. Ethereum is no different than any other sub Ethereum altcoin that was a derivative of it. Bitcoin, and Bitcoin Cash is a little bit different than that, but even so, it's still not Bitcoin. There's Bitcoin, and then there's everything else. So if Bitcoin decides to consolidate to 3750s, yes, we're going to see significantly more consolidation in our altcoin friends, etc., etc., etc. Yeah. So again, what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Let's go back. Oh yeah. So let's look at a couple of things here. So this is Bitcoin. Let's get rid of that guy there. I did want to bring up my cloud, my Ichimoku cloud. Um, very impressive, but Bitcoin's finally in the cloud. This is still a very bearish cloud. I mean, let's not kid ourselves here. Even though on lower time frames, we've been able to get to some Kumo crosses. Yet we're bullish on the 6 hour, the 4 hour, not yet on the 12, and still a ways to go on the daily. But we're holding in our cloud support down to 3765. Okay, we are looking for a TK cross. Has not happened yet, but potentially setting up for it. And I bet you the next bigger move will definitely dictate such. If we're going to get that real TK cross or TK bear cross, which is very possible as well. Complete bullish hoorah expansion could take Bitcoin up to 5K. I just can't see it. That would be a mega bullish move here, bigger than the bounce we had from $3,100. In this span, I just can't see it without the volume, and I don't see the volume. I don't see where that's coming from. Okay, a consolidation on our lower span A support around the 3760s area. Okay, would be just as what we've been seeing on lower time frame clouds. I think it was the 6 hour was a good example of that. We broke in, finding Tenkan-sen support, finding Kejin-sen support, finding cloud support, cloud resistance, now cloud support, now busted through. All of our clouds are bullish up until our daily, which is finally in the cloud. But still, I mean, I can totally see finding support here in the 37s. Bitcoin in the $3,700 area is not out of the realm of possibility for a defined and very comfortable support area after being so bullish here for very long. Yeah, I mean, Litecoin is other than BNB, Litecoin is by far the most bullish chart in crypto. You could really argue with, right? I mean, the daily, this is the bullish Kumo twist I was talking about that we're still very far away from for Bitcoin. Okay, this is a bullish Kumo on the daily. Okay, just beginning to expand. Remember, I'm 30 days displaced here, so this is a month out, if you will. March 23rd ish, 22nd ish. But it just really shows that, yeah, EOS, that's a good point too. EOS is bullish as well. Yeah, EOS, and EOS always does a more of a front runner, not a front runner, but look at that daily EOS is already through the cloud. No, but it's also notable that EOS didn't have as. No, I guess that's not true. 5-1. Yeah, well, that was a good move there. Congrats, EOS. Wow, what do I have here? What do I have here? This is EOS. This is Phoenix, though. So actually, this is USD, but this is Phoenix. So this is slightly hyperinflated. It's not $4 on the non. This is not USD. Sorry, this is USDT because it's on Phoenix. So the US, it's not that high from a dollar standpoint. So it's a little inflated, but where it surpassed a 1-to-1. Yeah, I mean that is the thing. Yeah, EOS definitely a much more bullish chart. Good call. Who said that? Andre. Good call, Andre. And then from the overall bottom to top here, what do we got here? 160. Yeah, on the second leg. It's very impressive. And EOS always has been that way. Very nice. Let's look at BNB, which reminds me. I mean, talk about bullish charts. I mean, ridic. Okay, this is the daily. Look at that cloud formation there on the daily. I mean, we are so high. I go on my weekly here. Probably not enough. History 2-day, daily. Are we touching any? So, all right, 12-hour Tenkan Sen support. So we're basically riding 12-hour Tenkan Sen support. Looking a little tired here. Rode it, broke it, expand, contract, expand. This is the 12-hour. Yeah, that follow-up 12-hour was half the volume. And we're still very early into this one here. So we're only 11th of volume into this guy here. But, I mean, listen, I don't care what the story is with BNB. It's just about the chart and about it's either doing one of two things. It's doing a parabola, like a Bitcoin 20K parabola, which I just don't see it really happening in this market. I'll put it that way. Come on, there we go. And the volume is just crazy good. But let's see here. I'm gonna be on a higher time frame because it's kind of the only when a chart is this bullish. Look at the weekly RSI. Is at 80. The weekly is at 80. Okay? The weekly is at 80. Look at the weekly Stoke. This is the weekly Stoke. I mean, this thing is due for a monster pullback. I'm sorry, it is. It's had a mother of a run. Any kind of interesting extensions? 1, 2. I mean, I guess. So it'd be 3 of 5. Wow. Boom. That's interesting, huh? Like right to it. Look where BNB hit. Right in the golden friggin' pocket. Let's be very accurate here. Bottom. Bottom. This goes a little lower. Right there. Yep. Good. 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 Wow. 0.65. Wow. 28,664. Wow. If there were ever a place to find ultimate resistance here after a move like this, is the golden ratio, which could potentially signal. I mean, is this a 5 wave here? Four above 1, 3 is clearly the longest. 1 is definitely impulsive. I mean, look at that thing. It's pretty clean. I mean, if it wants to go higher, if we actually had, because remember, 3, oh, what the hell is 3 to 1? Yeah, 3 was a 361, so 5 is kind of be truncated. There's no way 5 gets above 30. I mean, this is I can totally foresee a truncated 5th wave after having 3 extended so high above 1. It's very possible that BNB is topped off here after just a miraculous move. What the heck is the freaking TD on this thing? It must be nuts. Yeah, it's a bleeding 9 on the weekly. On the weekly? Get out of here. I mean, stick a fork in me, Jerry, right? It's a lot of resistance to get higher. But listen, this thing is a cranker. Although last week, this is the weekly. Now we're going about halfway through. Yeah, we're probably going to put in a lower volume profile this week as well with a higher price. Don't like that. So that's B and B. Oh. Yeah, it's true. It's true, Hawk. All right, so I've been talking for our 115 hour and 15 minutes. All right, let me just talk about a couple things of note. Any interesting TDs here? Yeah, we're bleeding 9. We're bleeding 9 in Litecoin's 12-hour. Okay, we're only at 5 on the daily. Let's go ETH. ETH is a 7 on the daily, a bleeding 9 on the 12. Bitcoin Cash is a bleeding 9 on the 12, 5 on, yeah, everything's gonna be the same. Bleeding 9 on the 12, 5 on the daily. Bitcoin 5 on the daily, bleeding 9 on the 12. Okay, you get it, right? We're either super duper duper bullish and we're just gonna get this massive inflow of billions of dollars of free cash money from a Tether liquidation, Safecoin liquidation, or fiat liquidation into crypto right now after this move, or we're about to kind of just correct and and do a kind of a healthier correction and see where really where the stability of our market does truly lie at this moment. Guys, I think I'll call it a night here. 100 of you guys plus have hung out with me. Thanks for hanging. Remember to follow me on Twitter. You guys can follow my buddy Big Cheds on Twitter as well. Be hanging out with him tomorrow. We're trying to do a show together. One of our old school back and forths, Cheds and Chonis talks. People they really responded to the back and forth we had and just kind of debating, our charts and our price action and what's going to happen here. What's the next thing that's going to really keep us going here and move us forward? Bitcoin needs to break 4K. Bitcoin needs to break 4K, or else we have lots of areas of correction to contend with. This extension is still a 0.55 of our overall move here, and we're still looking for that chance to do another similar correction, in the sense that we need to find a sense where the market can tell us, okay, we're comfortable being Litecoin above 50, which I'm not. I'm just not. Bitcoin over 4K. Bitcoin Cash is one of those crazy kind of like movers where if Bitcoin can move, this thing can crank quickly. And some of these alts definitely do have more running room. The fact that EOS, as was stated, was more bullish, Litecoin and ETH and Bitcoin Cash kind of similar. There's running room if Bitcoin can break that 4K area. But that's the key. All eyes for me right now are on Bitcoin. Now, even with Bitcoin ranging, alts can definitely take that next leg higher, and we've been seeing that. But this moment, with the extensions we have now, it's hard for me to feel that we're going to get that super sense of that next leg higher. Hey, Age 8, my buddy. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the tip, my friend. Much appreciated. So, guys, until then, speak to Chonis. Be safe out there. I'll be watching Bitcoin. Keep an eye on Bitcoin. This is it. Bitcoin over 4K and all these bullish possibilities and extensions to the next level. Ethereum above 160, Bitcoin above, Bitcoin Cash above 0.15, 160, EOS over $4, Litecoin 55, 57, or even a little bit higher. All these things are possible with Bitcoin above 4K. But until then, my overall current pinned tweet is still in play, which is we're just putting in lower highs. We're still in this bear pennant, and the crocodile is sitting here ready to chew us all up because we longed into historic resistance. And until we can break over here, break above 4K and 41 and 42 and hold above there, which would give all alts our next level of extension and put them even more, in a sense, overbought. We're not ready for that yet. So I'll leave you be. It's Big Chonis. Keep in touch. I do it for you. Talk to you soon. Thanks for the tip. Remember to follow me on Twitter. Give me some thumbs up. There's over 100 of you guys watching this thing. It'd be great to have over 100 thumbs up on this video. And remember to give me a follow and follow me on Twitter. Until then, Big Chonis. Talk to you soon. Peace out.